Well, hello again. What are we going to do? These are Rough Bark Elms. This is from earlier this year. And we are in the middle of summer, actually the first week of July. And I thought we'll go ahead and start to guide these along. I did a real rough cut, not knowing what would happen. Now that I know what's happening, I'm going to make it go to the next stage. And mainly, we're going to be working on on the three fundamentals. Well, we can't. The first one is the root flare. It's developing, but not much we could do. But we're going to work on the movement, which is the style, and taper. So that's what we're going to accomplish today. The two of the three things that we need to have as a good bonsai. Okay, I'm going to start cutting some things back so we could see what we have to work with. And I see our first task is right here. And I think what I need to do is cut it like so that there is a smooth transition into our future apex. So that's what I'm going to do, take the saw and cut across here. Right now it's a stub, actually it's getting worse, it's going to end up with a big knob up here. So I'll take and nibble a little bit more, but you could start to see the transition, right? It's cut, but that's the back side. So this is the front, and I want to create a new apex somewhere probably here, but I need to get this to get thicker, so I'm just going to cut roughly like that and just let it grow. And I think either this one or this one will become the new apex. Oh, if you notice, but this trunk, the movement is good, but you notice that it's almost the same thickness. So these branches down here are very important in that it has to help fatten this area. And then I got to get rid of these so this part doesn't bulk up. We got to put the energy here and fatten this area. So this one I think is fairly straightforward. I could go up this line and recut here. Now I could cut it to here and make it shorter, but I think this is good enough. So I'll go ahead and cut it right across here. I think that'll be okay. I'm not sure where the apex is going to be. It might be here, or it might be over here, or it might be over here. That's in the future. Now this trunk is not as bad as the other one. It does have taper, but it would be more dramatic if this area was fatter. So these will act as a sacrifice branch, and then I probably should cut off a little bit more so this will stay more or less intact. And then we need to fatten that up. So that's the game plan for this guy here. Okay, I'm not sure what's in it, so I'll go ahead and cut some out and see which direction we need to go. Okay, this one looks like a double trunk, but not a clear direction. So I'm just going to put this back, and maybe next go around there'll be a little bit better idea of what to do with it. So that's not uncommon. When it's this rough material state, sometimes you just gotta wait. So we have this one here. Okay, I think I see the potential. So So I'll go ahead and do it and see if your prediction and my action are in sync. So, now what? Couple options. Cut it off here because this rough cut, it produced a bulge, and this will give us a little bit better taper. But cutting it to here gives us even a better one. But I'm not sure if I want to go that way or that way. I think this line, the way it's going, is probably better that way. Or the other option is cut it here and tie this. Anyway, those are the things that go through your mind as you're working this. It's about right. Goes like that, and then we will recreate a new apex. This way, I think it just seems like it's going in the wrong angle. Now, if I really want to, I could maybe cut it to here, but I think I get this to work. But I do need to make sure that this area stays fatter, and then hopefully something will come out here and keep this fatter. So always keep in mind, how are we going to handle the taper? It's very important. So you got to plan these things and then execute the right technique at the right time. These were that came out of the ground with some roots earlier in the year during the dormant season. So, well, we're less than a half a year from the time I got it out of the ground and put in these containers. And this is more or less our first step into styling. The one on the right, very little styling. The other three, more or less styled. So, okay, let's wrap this up. This was the rough bark Chinese elm from earlier in the year. So this is the first step from the time I got it out the ground and put in these containers to start the shaping process. So these will go back into the growing area and fed fairly heavy because we want it to produce a lot of foliage, and then we could prune again. So anyway, this is Hero saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So this was the rough bark elm.